Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. Today we are going to study another topic from the subject cosmetics and cosmeceuticals, that is about the soaps. They are along with a very interesting topic. So let us start. Soaps are basically excluded from the list of cosmetic drugs and another set of regulations are applicable over them. Soaps are specifically excluded from cosmetics and Food and Drug Cosmetics Act are not applicable to the soaps. The Romans used a type of clay found near the Rome, which is known as the sapo, from which the word soap is being derived. So we got the soap word from the clay known as the sapo in the Rome era. So soap basically consists of sodium salt or potassium hydroxide salt along with the long chain fatty acids and obtained after a process known as the saponification process. So there are few things which needs to be considered while trying to understand about the soap manufacturing process. So the normal pH of the skin is acidic. It lies into the range of 4.5 to 6.5. So when we use the normal soaps which are being manufactured from the sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, we are basically raising the pH of the soap to a higher raising to a more higher range like 9 to 10. So when we are raising from 4 to 9, basically the skin feels more dry and we have a more itchy sort of the feeling which is causing a continuous discomfort. So modern techniques involves the incorporation of substances, incorporations of techniques whereby we try to remain the pH within the acidic range only, so that we don't feel this kind of the discomfort. So there is another category known as the scented baths, whereby we are actually limiting the pH range within 4 to 6.5, thereby removing that itchiness feeling and you have a better skin feel. Common detergents which are being used in the bar type of the cleanser are like sodium cacoate, sodium taloate, sodium isothione. This is the certain category whereby you see there are a number of other common detergents which are being used in the bar type of the cleanser. Now there we should understand the special additives which are being added into the soap while manufacturing process for to attain certain desired attributes and properties. For example, we add sucrose and glycerin when we desire to produce a transparent bar. You must have seen the baby bath soap which are very much transparent. So that incorporates humectants like glycerin, humectants like sucrose, which is giving this feature. Then when we want to produce a castile soap, we use in olive oils, various edible oils like olive oils, which is having the enhanced properties. Now when we manufacture the medicated soaps, we use various types of the ingredients like triclosan. Triclosan is basically a preservative which is being added to medicated soaps to have the antibacterial action, for prolonging the shelf life, for prolonging the preservative efficacy. Then apart from that, we use benzoyl peroxide or sulfur to attain the desired medicated soaps. Now there are certain substances like titanium dioxide which are being used as opacifiers. We want to have a better look of the soap, we want to increase its optical whiteness. Now this titanium dioxide is not considered into that much safe zone, so the regulatory authorities have actually permitted it within a certain specified limits. For the soaps, the limit is set at 0.3% weight by volume. So apart from that, if you want to have not various colored soaps, you must have seen, so they involve the incorporation of various pigments like aluminum flakes or other substances which imparts them particular color. Now you must have seen that there are certain soap which is having rich leather, rich creamy leather. Now what is the substance responsible for that? That is the sodium carboxymethyl cellulose derivatives. This imparts it a better foaming ability, better rich creamy leather. Then apart from that, all the bars, all the soaps contain some kind of the pleasant smell associated with it, that is after the addition of the perfumes. Then apart from that, there are certain substances which are being added to preserve the moisturizing potential of that soap. So certain substances like paraffin and lanolin are normally incorporated into the soap to have the better moisturizing ability, to impart this characteristic feature. Now, when we talk about the soaps are basically divided into three categories depending on their characteristics, depending on their attribute, on the basis of their pH, which is being carrying them. Now, we should understand the significance of the pH whenever we talk about the soaps, because as we move from acidic to basic pH, we are actually increasing the dry skin. We are actually increasing the skin problem. So we have to restrict ourselves to the acidic more towards the acidic side, because our skin pH lies within the range of 4.5 to 6.5. So when we talk about the soaps, there these criteria should be considered. So first is the basic soap, also known as the true soap. Now how it is being characterized: it contains a long chain fatty acids of alkali salts, and the pH lies within the range of 9 to 10. Then there are CAMBARs, which are composed of the alkaline soaps in which more surface active agents have been added up, and again the pH lies in the range of 9 to 10. Now there comes the third category. This is more advanced category, also known as the syndet. Syndet basically means synthetic detergents. Now you will be surprised here to know that it is actually a less soap in a soap. How come it is that? Because we are hereby maintaining the pH within the acidic range of the skin, like 5.5 to 7. So what we are actually doing, we are utilizing more substances, more synthetic detergents, more fillers to have the restricted pH range. It comprises, it is less harsh towards the skin and more soft towards the skin. So this kind of the soap is being preferred by the people these days to have a better skin feel. So now the purpose in developing the new synthetic detergents is to provide a product, or a product which is less irritating to the skin than as compared to the traditional soaps. Now the basic soaps are again further divided into three categories. First is the glycerin soap, or the transparent bars. As I have discussed earlier, when we talk about the baby soaps, we are more concerned with a more clear soap, which is making having a good feel to the little infants. So they are being used in the winters because they preserve the natural moisture of the skin. They are a little bit acid, they are not harsh towards the skin, and also prevents the drying effects, because in winters usually the dryness increases, and if we use the normal kind of the soap, we are having better harsh effects over the skin. Second comes the superfatted soaps. As the name suggests, they contain more amount of the lipid content such as triglycerides, lanolin, paraffin, stearic acid, or mineral oil. These edible oils are basically giving that more oily feel, which is having the better feel. Then third is the deodorant or antibacterial soap. So depending on the requirement, deodorant soap, as the name indicate, you want to have a better smelling characteristics, you want to have a better perfumed characteristics. So more inclusion of more perfumes. And when we talk about the antibacterial soaps, like in case of like toothpaste and other products, you have utilized triclosan. Triclosan is a preservative which is being added, having antibacterial properties. So if you want to have a medicated soap, triclosan is being incorporated to have the more antibacterial property, which is being desired in more in summers. Now, the whole process of soap manufacturing involves a saponification. What is this saponification? We are basically adding sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide to the edible oils, either derived from the vegetable origin or from the animal fat. Now when this is being when they are being mixed up at elevated temperature, saponification process takes place, and we result into the formation of an alcohol or the salt of the carboxylic acid. So now this alcohol in the form of the glycerol is being generated in the saponification process, and this glycerin is later on removed after the process. So you will be surprised to know here that this glycerin is actually then used in the high-end cosmetic products. It is a byproduct manufactured during the soap manufacturing process. And the long chain of fatty acid or carboxylic acid is again a chain consisting of both the polar and non-polar ends. So all the dust and grime gets attached to the hydrocarbon chain, and polar end gets attached to the water. So when we rinse the soap, we are actually getting the cleaning effect out of that. Now the whole process of soap manufacturing involves five basic processes. First is the bar soap manufacturing process, which on an industrial scale. Second is the detergent manufacturing process. Third is the liquid detergent manufacturing process. Fourth is the packaging process, and last one is the manufacturing process flow solutions. So as for today's scenario, you must have seen there is like presence of liquid detergents which are being preferred over the normal detergents. Packaging process have altogether changed. So different types of operations being held up at the industrial level. They are basically, when we talk about the normal soap manufacturing, we are bar soap manufacturing. Two processes have been utilized. First is the cold process, and second is the hot process. So as the name suggests, cold process means the saponification is allowed at the normal room temperature. So when it is being allowed at the normal room temperature, it takes a long time, and the saponification process is delayed, and you get at least minimum 3 to 4 weeks to get the hard soap bars. When we talk about the hot process, as the name indicates, both the hydroxide and the edible oils are being heated up first, and then the saponification process takes place. So in this process we get soap instantly, and that time period is being reduced out. When we talk about the manufacturing of the soap at the industrial level, four main processes have been are very important. First is the saponification step, second is the glycerin removal step, third is the soap purification, and fourth is the finishing step. So as the name indicates, saponification process. So it involves the mixing of your sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide with the animal fat. Animal fat is hereby referred to as tallow, or plant fats like edible oils like coconut oil or jojoba oils or many olive oils, many different kinds of. So when this process is being mixed up, this results in the formation of soap tearing long chain fatty carboxylic acid, and glycerol is produced as a byproduct. So in the second step, we actually remove the glycerin. So glycerin, you will be surprised here to know that glycerin is more valuable than the soap, and hence most of it is removed from its uses in more expensive cosmetic products. Glycerin is here a byproduct. Some of the glycerin which is left is further removed by adding the salt. So what happens when salt is being added up? Soap is generally not very soluble in salt, but glycerin is. So soap gets separate out from the glycerin by this process. The third process is the purification process. We want to drain out the excess sodium hydroxide which is being added up in the first process, and try to remove out the excess water so that you can have a hard soap which can be formed into the structure of bars. And last is the finishing process. In the finishing process, we add other substances depending on the type of the requirement and the kind of the soap we want to manufacture. For example, like colors, different pigmented solutions, or preservatives, like I have told, like or any other antibacterial agents, or like perfumes, or humectants if it is desired. So in the final stage, we actually add the substances for the kind of the characteristic property we want to produce. So these are the four main steps involved in the industrial bar soap making process. Now, toilet soap manufacturing. Toilet soap generally refers to the normal soaps which are being used for the personal use, and which has actually less water and more fatty materials like than compared to the laundry soap. Now, laundry soap is the we are using for the washing clothes, but toilet soaps have more fatty materials, and it can be understood from the kind of utility. You are using it over the skin, so you need more of the contents, more moisture level is being required to maintain into that pH range of 4.5 to 6.5. So these measures ensure that there is no unreacted caustic remains in the soap. Caustic refers to the hydroxide, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, whatever has been used in the product, they are known as the caustic. And by the time it reaches to the consumer, and also makes the soap softer. So additions such as perfumes, dyes, opacifiers are then mixed up to the dried soap, and the mixture is milled to ensure even mixing. It has to be uniformly mixed out. It is then clotted and extruded out as a continuous bar, which is then stamped ready for packaging and sale. So I hope I am clear with the soaps, different types of ingredients being used in the soap, different types of detergents being used in the soap, different kinds of the bar. We also are going to have another session about the scented bar specifically in my subsequent video. We also discussed about the bar manufacturing process on an industrial scales. I hope I am clear and make you some make enhance your knowledge about the soaps. Friends, in case you have any query, you can comment in the comment box. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.